Bonjour et bienvenue sur Speak French avec moi. Je suis Séverine et je suis votre professeur de français. Hello and welcome to Speak French avec moi. I am Séverine. I am your French coach. Imagine that you're in France. Maybe you know how to express what you want, but what if you need to say, I don't want? Well, welcome to this new episode. Today, I'm going to teach you how to talk about what you want and do not want in French. As usual, you will find the transcript on the website speakfrenchavecmoi.com. For that, you go under the podcast section of the website where you'll find all the transcripts. I have about now 60 episodes, I think, so feel free to binge and look around, find what you need. Each episode has actionable. What does that mean? It means that you don't need to listen to 70 episodes to speak French. At the end of each episode, you will be able to make a sentence, to ask a question, and to express yourself. That's what we need when we need to communicate in a different language. Of course, I have a Facebook page, an Instagram account where you can go and find more content. And feel free to subscribe so you don't miss any upcoming episode. Now is the time where a lot of you are thinking or traveling or even, boarding on tonight. So make sure to listen to all the episodes. Are you ready to speak French? I will be right back after this short break. Alors, pour commencer, we're going to start with how to talk about what you want politely. Alors, what do I mean by politely? It's the same when you say, I'd like instead of I want. For that, you need to use the conditional tense in French. So let's start with, maybe you remember that from school, or maybe it's new to you. It's je voudrais. Je voudrais is I would want or I would like. It means I would want, but I would like. Je voudrais. Je voudrais. Don't say that you say, I would love. I'd love this. I'd love it. J'aimerais. J'aimerais. Now, there is another way, and it's very formal, so you want that easy to say for non-French speaker. It's I will desire. So I know desire can have other undertones. In French, it's something that people use very often to express what they want. Je désirerais. I know this one is hard, and I told you ahead, right? You ask for it. Je désirerais. Je désirerais. All right, let's practice the three of them. Je voudrais. J'aimerais. Je désirerais. Bonjour. Je voudrais un croissant, s'il vous plaît. Hello, I'd like a croissant, please. Bonjour. J'aimerais un café, s'il vous plaît. Hello, I'd like a coffee, please. Bonjour. Je désirerais le plat du jour, s'il vous plaît. Hello. I would desire the daily special, please. I don't even know how to translate in English because I don't think anyone, I've never heard it here, said I would desire. Now in French, you can use it. Now it's your turn to repeat, right? Je voudrais. J'aimerais. Je désirerais. So you've noticed the a sound at the end of the verb that tells the person you're talking to that you're using conditional or future tense, but here it's conditional. sometimes we need to be a little bit more firm to express what you want. Maybe this time, you really, 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 and I know it's free, really, you really want something, and maybe you have good reason. You want to be a little bit more firm than I would like. It's more like I want. So to say I want, je veux. Je veux, I want. Now maybe you want to escalate a little bit. Sometimes it happens that instead of saying I want, it's more like I demand. Of course, try to avoid to ask to talk to the manager. Why do I say that? I know it's a funny joke. I hope you got it. It's not something in French that, talking to the manager is not going to change anything. This is not in the French culture. The best way to get around is to stay polite and be patient. It's a different culture. But anyway, you sometimes need to require or to demand something. In this case, you use j'exige. Wow, this one is hard. So think of the word eggs. J'exige. J'exige. Right, we have an egg, a z, and a je. J'exige. You understand why French don't use it, because nobody can say that. J'exige, even myself. J'exige. Alors, demander, actually we have a verb demander in French. It doesn't mean to demand. It's closer than to ask a question, right? So if you say je demande, it doesn't fit. It doesn't match here. So you don't want to use demander. Demander has a different meaning. So let's remember, je veux, I want, j'exige, I demand. Such as, bonjour, je veux une autre chambre, s'il vous plaît. Bonjour, je veux une autre chambre, s'il vous plaît. Hello, I want another bedroom, please. Sometimes it happens, right? They stuck you in front of the elevator and nobody wants to stay by the elevator, or you ask for a view and you have the view, so you want another bedroom, and it's your right to have another bedroom. Bonjour, je veux une autre chambre. Of course, you might use it for other. This is just as an example. Je veux. You will notice it's spelled V-U-X. You don't pronounce the X. You don't say je veux. Whatever you come up, right? At this point, I heard everything. Ou je veux, ou whatever. Je veux. If you need, you demand or you require something, it's bonjour, j'exige un remboursement, s'il vous plaît. I demand refund, right? Sometimes it happens, we had a bad experience, something bad happened, and you want a refund. Donc, le mieux, the best, is to say je veux or j'exige if it's something that you require or that you demand. All right, now, how to express what you don't want. Okay, how do you say I don't want? All right? So for that, you say je ne veux pas. Je ne veux pas. Now, I'm sure you heard at this point that French drop the ne when they speak. You can say je veux pas. It sounds a little spoken French, right? Je veux pas ou je ne veux pas. Alors, remember, very important, when you want to say something, it's always pas de. What do I mean? Remember, at the start of this episode, I said, bonjour, je voudrais un croissant, s'il vous plaît. When you say pas, you say de. Bonjour, je ne veux pas de croissant. Bonjour, je ne voudrais pas de croissant. Stay away from using the conditional here because you're stating something that you don't want, so you use je ne veux pas. Je ne veux pas de croissant. If you don't want any milk, je ne veux pas de lait. If you don't want any wine, je ne veux pas de vin. Now, if you don't remember the de and du and de la after, this was an episode that I posted a long time ago. Just say je ne veux pas. Okay? Alors, ou je n'en veux pas, which means I don't want any of it. Je n'en veux pas. Okay? Let's say that your waiter comes and maybe he wants to ask you if you want paper. You know, sometimes they come with giant, paper, shaker. I have no idea why, but, and you say, oh, I don't want any paper. And you can't remember how to say paper. Je n'en veux pas. Of course, you'll want to say thank you, merci, je n'en veux pas. Always be polite in all circumstances. It's very important. Voilà, c'est la fin de cet épisode. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope I, taught you new skills. If you enjoyed this episode, please feel free to leave a star rating. If you're listening on a podcast app, you can just press 5, I think. If you listen on iTunes, now it's Apple Podcasts, it's a bit more complicated. Feel free to reach out to me. I apologize for some of you that sent me emails. For whatever reason, the emails were in spam folder. I'm all caught up and I replied to everybody this morning. Again, okay, I know you're an amazing person. And as I say each time, if nobody has told you today, you are terrific. You are terrific. Merci. À bientôt. Au revoir.